The problem is like he pick up a team at the wrong moment.
You didn't come to be a parking valet. They got everything at the back like a Hulk Hogan haircut. That's what it is. No, I'm serious. That's what it is. They got nothing up top, boy. Just a sunroof.
He proved that on the pitch that he's a really top player. On his days, he's unplayable. All this ego stuff, whatever has been done in Manchester atmosphere, they have to get rid of it.
It's okay for Man City, because what will happen is they'll have a complete clear out, they'll spend an absolute shed load, and it'll go from 115 charges to 150, and then they'll just deduct another 10 points off Everton.
They won the treble, and it's like their team has just trebled in age. Kevin De Bruyne, you get me? He's looking like Macaulay Culkin at the moment.
If he wins a trophy, he cannot be sacked. I would love him to just throw it all back at the media and just go to I told you. I always win a trophy, man, his second season.
Brother, I think there's more chance of Ange winning Love Island than us winning the Europa League.
Ronaldo hasn't sacrificed a lot for the players. He was dedicated to himself. When sacrifice a lot.
Hi everybody, welcome along to the lineup brought to you by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. As ever, I'm joined by Tony Bellew and Expressions. But the man completing our lineup this month had one of the most devastating left foots in the Premier League. A graduate from the famous Clairefontaine Football Academy, mais oui. He spent 4 prolific seasons at Fulham before eventually getting his big move to Manchester United, where he won the Premier League twice, plus the Champions League, playing under none other than Sir Alex Ferguson. The French international also spent time at Tony Bellew's Everton and Expressions' beloved Tottenham Hotspur. It is bienvenue, welcome, willkommen. To the lineup, Louis Saha is with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
It is wonderful to have you here. Tony, before we go any further, you don't call him Louis, you call him?
He's always king to me. He's always going to be King Louis. He's king.
And you call him King. You've been calling him King before we came on set today.
Yes, well, listen, me and Louis go back. Well, me and King go back from when he was at Everton. So I was in and amongst the lads in the dressing room then, and they were my friends, and he's still my friends, and now we speak sometimes. So, yeah.
Lovely.
King was an unbelievable guy and an unbelievable player when he was on that pitch.
Sure thing.
It's reciprocal, in a way that I saw this guy boxing, obviously, but train, and I had my full respect. And when some guys like this call you this way, you say, hang on a minute, what are you talking about? No, you are the real man. He's so special.
Well, Louis, did you like the intro that Jim gave you, bruv? He was all speaking French and that, you know. This is the first time he just threw my name with Expressions and that. He didn't say half man, half amazing. He didn't say genetically jacked, athletically stacked. He didn't say any of that. You know what I mean? He started talking French. He just threw me away and he said, woo, woo, woo.
Really,
I tell you what, I will tell you. My sparring partner on talkSPORT, Simon Jordan, says this show is wonderful. He's a regular watcher. Not for me, although he's a big fan of Tony Bellew, but the man who steals the show every week is Expression.
Brother, who spiked his coffee, bro? You're lying.
Jordan.
I want to see the clip. There's no way. SJ said that about me.
Seriously?
SJ?
The SJ, yeah?
Seriously?
Bro, I thought the only
that.
SJ that would have said that was the one from OFB, bruv. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Simon Jordan said that about me.
Simon Jordan said that about you.
Come on the show and then I know it's real, innit? How about that?
Now you're talking. Nice. Gentlemen, let's kick off with that board draw at Old Trafford at the weekend there. Gary Neville was very vocal during the game about both teams and modern-day Premier League football in general. What did he say? This is what he said. It's like we've got to a point in football where teams are frightened to death to give the ball away, make a mistake, take a risk. They're also obsessed with shape. Nothing off the cuff is happening in many of the games. And this has to stop, says Gary. The excitement and beauty of the Premier League is the sort of thrust and energy and excitement and doing things a little bit differently. And he went on to describe it as a disease in the game. Very strong words. Louis Saha, you played here. You know all about English football at the top level. What do you think about Gary's comments there?
I think it's totally spot on. There is elements that our football that we love, that we respect, has like gone some different direction we may judge in a way that when we're not playing in the era, you always criticize easily. I respect. It's a different speed. It's a different rules sometimes. But there is element where we have to protect that game, because it's so important. It drives so much excitement. If you get the excitement away from our sport, I don't like too much tactic. I don't like too much movement that is controlled. I don't like the predictability that we give to the managers. Yeah. I don't like that. So I totally agree. Even if it's, imagine coming from teammates that we were fighting all the time. Yeah. Because he was a defender, I was a striker. I love my freedom, and he likes shape. And now hearing that from a defender, this is crazy. It means that he's seen it every week, week in, week out, and he can complain about it. And
you're absolutely with him on this. You agree totally?
Completely. I
Me
think
too.
It's
100%, because he even said about Pep Guardiola, and I believe Pep Guardiola's come in, and there's a strong way to say he's come in and ruined football, because he's come in and he's implemented his tactics. Not everybody needs to follow it, but the difference is Pep Guardiola's tactics have shown what he can do with it, and a lot of other teams are trying to do B-Tech and C-Tech versions of it. We've been seeing that. Gone are the days where players are just being able to express themselves. Look at Jack Grealish at Man City, shell of a man. Look what Yaya Toure used to do at Man City, expressing himself, doing whatever he wants to do. If Toure played for Pep Guardiola, he would have never had the career that he had at Man City. Because I'm telling you, all of this robots, inverted wing backs, and Gary Neville could have never been a right back in 2025. No chance. He'd have been on the bench. Phil Neville would have had more of a chance playing in this sort of... No, I'm being serious. Phil Neville played a lot of positions. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones where I believe that Gary Neville is spot on, this robotic, you have to do this, tuck in that, and everyone seems to be implementing.
He's not having it.
We cannot express
Tony Bellew's not having what you say.
This is just older players, you know what, saying it's just throwing away. I mean, it's going too far. There's nothing boring. Listen, if you've been a Manchester City fan for the last 5 years, there ain't nothing boring about winning every trophy you can possibly win. If you're an Arsenal, well, that's a bit different there. They're not. If you're a Liverpool fan, you ain't bored. I'm sorry. It's just everybody else besides Liverpool and Man City have been bored for the last few years. That's it.
I think you can see that. There is an aspect where you can see that it's good if you are in that range of winning trophies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if you're not, what are you going to say?
Exactly.
You're going to say, I'm going to
but that's not their fault. if you've got a formula and it keeps winning, guess what? Just keep winning.
We are talking about winning here. But if it's just in the middle of the table and you see that, you have to address it. As like Expression just mentioned, say, there is an ability now to control the players, to control the tempo of the game. And this is general. So many versions that look like Guardiola. But Guardiola have the players to do this.
Thank you.
And the other ones are trying to copy where they don't have maybe the capacity to excite the players with trophies.
I 100% agree that not everybody can play to Pep Guardiola's football. I agree with that. So quite simply, don't try and do it.
But brother, look at Arsenal. You mentioned Arsenal. Look at Arsenal, These men have spent 300 million on left backs, but centre backs, Calafiori, Timber, who else? Zinchenko's already at the club. Kieran Tierney, he's still there. Do you know what I mean? They spent so much money on centre backs to play left back, and now they're playing Louis Skelly there, a midfielder, all because you want to invert and you want to do that. Kieran Tierney's their only natural left back, and he can't get a game.
I just think football moved differently when, quite simply, players became athletes before players. I think football now for a long time has been about them being, and I think players now are better athletes than they were years ago, but technically I don't believe they're on the same level.
Yeah. Okay, what about Manchester United then, Louis? Former club, Ruben Amorim, the man in charge. What have you made of the job he's done so far?
He's done great. Let's talk about outside the field, communication-wise. Being very honest, have a philosophy, stick to it, get a bit of understanding with the players, with the staff. So this, I think he's got a good 9 out of 10. The problem is he pick up a team at the wrong moment and then have to implement those philosophy or whatever and couldn't get the result. So confidence-wise was disrupted. So based on the strategy and the tempo of things that you want to go well, it was difficult. And he managed to get a bit of consistency lately, where defensively they are better. But forward, oh my God, it just it's just not happening. So it's really hard. Wherever like you try to find the balance and you don't have the ammunition up front, every result you want to get, you don't get it.
I personally don't even think that. I think he's probably like the third best Portuguese manager in the league. No, I'm serious. Nuno's on fire. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. Who else is that? I don't even know where Ariola's from. If he's Portuguese, then
How
boy.
didn't it work at your place for
Marco
a space?
Silva. Marco Silva.
Thank you. That's who I was meant. Marco Silva. Do you know what I mean? Amorim. Hold on, we're gonna get to Nuno. Amorim isn't
doing a better job than him.
We're gonna get to Nuno. Amorim is probably like the third best Portuguese manager in the league. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's come in, as you said right. Oh, he's come to steady the ship. But like, you didn't come to be a parking valet to just come and just park like 8 cars there. These man got like 8 at the back. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. They got everything at the back like a Hulk Hogan haircut. That's what it is. No, I'm serious. That's what it is. They got nothing up top, boy. Just a sunroof. John Cena. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Like,
it's true, but there is a difference. No, we try to compare the managers. Marco Silva is doing the gradual with Fulham. Yeah. This is Fulham. It's a different animal. So going to the pressure, going to the tactic, those players that are not in the same shape in terms of confidence, it's really hard to manage. So that's why it's easy to say, oh yes, I will have picked up Marco Silva ahead of him, but it's a different animal. So where I've seen respect David Moyes when he went there. He wasn't ready, and he found out maybe 6 months later that it's a different animal. And this is where it's really hard to pick up those things straight away, understanding what you need to do at first, because now you're making different decisions. So it's not easy.
But he also got rid of his, come on, look at Marcus Rashford. He got rid of his best players, Rashford, Anthony. These lot are balling out now. Like, you know what I mean? Marcus Rashford's gone to Villa, and because he's no longer the main man, because in Manchester United, like, I feel like he can't go back there. I feel like I don't want to say it's too big for him, but the expectations are too big for him. At Aston Villa, he's able to just reinvent himself. Like, Aston Villa are bringing off Asensio and Rashford off the bench. You know what sort of firepower that is? Telling you, Aston Villa's like John Wick FC, bruv. The amount of ammo that they've got. Like, I can't believe it. Like, you get me? Unai Emery's he's having a good evening.
Marcus Rashford, does he have a future at Manchester United? Or is it in his best interests that he moves out of there? He's at Villa now. Can he ever go back to United?
I think he can. That's the problem. You have to have another personality, another mindset, and all those things that he proved that on the pitch that he's a really top player. Like, on his days, he's unplayable. All this ego stuff, whatever has been done in Manchester atmosphere, you have to get rid of it. His thoughts is like, oh yes, they haven't done me this, or taught me, say, oh yes, you're a good player. No. You are a professional. You are able to actually destroy any defender you're facing. You have to do it everywhere. Wherever it's like Aston Villa or Man United, you're able to do it. You can do it in your national team. So hang on a minute. It's not about the players you play with. It's not about the manager, how he look at you or the fans. It's about him. And I think that if he decides to do it, he can do it everywhere in the world.
Everyone's seen he's good enough.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford, I remember Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, we had on the show, and he said that Marcus Rashford was the best finisher in the whole of the England setup squad. And that included Harry Kane.
He's unbelievable. The guy, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I was really upset when he left because of the reason, and especially more when he performed the way he performed now, because you have no excuse.
Yeah.
It's not about people, like those players who say, oh yes, I need the right tactic, I need the right, like love with a connection with the fans and all that. This is For me, it doesn't work. I say, hang on a minute, this is your job. Yeah. Wherever you're doing it, you have to find solution, adapt, and be stronger than anything.
I feel like there's certain players, like Cristiano Ronaldo is a player that can perform even if the fans are booing him and stuff and they're not behind him. Yeah, but I don't think Rashford's that sort of player. I think Rashford needs that support, especially because he's a Man United fan. Man born and bred, they're singing all of them songs, bro. So you know what I mean? He's gone from that to where he's at now, innit? And I think that he needs that love and support. So I don't reckon that it'll work out for him unless the fans are completely behind him, innit? Yeah, but I think he's a good player.
What about the champions? What about Manchester City? Where has it all gone wrong for them, Louis?
People say Rodri. People say that
one player means so much to them, Rodri.
In a way, because you could see all over the let's say the 5 to 10 years, all the centre mids has been very important to teams. Liverpool, Man City, all those players has so much influence, where they try to maybe find ways with Kovacevic or whatever. It's like, it just didn't work out, and the confidence dropped, and then you ask a bit more from Kevin De Bruyne, a bit more from Silva, and those guys get found out. It's like a bit of like weaknesses there and that, where this guy was the cement. He was able to really drive them forward, be aggressive, and whoever like come behind wasn't able to do it. And it was an effect like for a few games, and then it's.
So what are we going to witness, Louis? I mean, Kyle Walker's gone, probably not back. Kevin De Bruyne is going, and we know he's not going to be back. Who's going to follow him? Is there going to be a mass clear-out?
Yeah, it have to be. I think that's the job of the board and the job of the manager. Always been in teams where he can invest like easily in some way because they have the capacity. Now they've been, let's say, checked out with the financial fair play. It's not easy, but that's their own problems, and I don't really.
It's okay for Man City because what will happen is they'll have a complete clear out. They'll spend an absolute shed load, and it'll go from 115 charges to 150, and then they'll just deduct another 10 points off Everton.
I hear it. But
that update on the Manchester City situation there from Tony Bellew.
But the thing is with City, I feel like, you know what it is? Like, this has been a long time coming because you got to give Pep Guardiola credit because, like, if you actually look at the transfer business that they've done over the last few seasons, it hasn't been anything major. They haven't made any, like, major additions, and they won the treble, and it's like their team has just trebled in age, bro. When you look at, like, Kevin De Bruyne, you get me? He's looking like Macaulay Culkin at the moment. He's finished, innit? Like, he is, innit? No disrespect. Great player, but he should have gone a long time ago. They're bringing Gundogan back. Man, like Gunda too, bruv. You know what I mean? Why are you bringing him back for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he was done. You know what I mean? Kyle Walker, my goodness, bro. You know what I'm saying, fam? Exposed every game. He should be on page 3 in the Sun, bro. What's man talking about? It should be Kyle Walker's photo there. Exposed. Bro, their players are getting older, innit? And I feel like...
Time waits for no man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Like, these man went from winning everything to Shady Acres. It's looking like an old people's home in that now. Like, honestly, that's what it is. So, Man City, and look, they've panic money. Look what they've gone and spent in January. Marmouche.
He looks a player.
No, these are good players, Tone. But the amount of money they've spent on them.
How much is Marmouche?
Bro, Marmouche and Kuzanov alone was like 150 or 100 and something like that.
That's only one extra charge. They'll take that.
Bro, do you lot know smart car charges? That's what they got, bro. You know, bro. That's it. All the Man City players should be driving electric cars, the amount of charges they got. They should be, bro. That's what it is. But for me, it's like they've gone and spent this money like crazy. But I think Pep, because he signed a deal, I think he will get it right, innit? Because this is the same Pep, that had Raheem Sterling scoring 20-plus goals, bro, in that Man City team because of the system. The system. Yeah. Do you know what we were talking about before?
It shows you
Raheem Sterling from there. He ain't scoring no 20 goals. He's not doing that.
But you change the shape because they, like 3 years ago, they bring some special addition.
Energy.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Alan. It's a different game.
Look at who they've lost, Mahrez.
Yeah, but he was the main, let's say, strength, and he done his job.
Yeah.
And this is the strength that those guys have, and they need to now have this balance straight away with defense and attack that they missed all the season.
Should we give them time to rebuild, Louis, or will they be back with a bang next season, Manchester City?
I think they come good next year. I think we have like a really experienced manager. I won't be surprised that he picked the right people. I'm sure like everyone expects all the time Man City to be at the top because they have the biggest budget or whatever, but that's part of the Premier League.
I don't think there is on King for the title next season.
Oh, Liverpool for me is still
still
the more experienced, the more stable.
Do you think they need to strengthen as well?
Oh yes, of course. Every team have to strengthen and it's a bit of competition. You have to keep them alive and say, okay, you have done well last year, but it's not enough. And so like Ferguson, that's what he was doing. Every time he's like putting you on your toe all the time.
So Liverpool will win it this time, and you think they'll win it again?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I think they'll win it this season for sure, but I think next season it's going to be crazy for them because they're not hanging on to Van Dijk, Salah and Trent.
True,
I reckon they're only keeping one of them players and they're going to have to rebuild from there as well. Arne Slot, fantastic manager, and he's actually done very well this season. But when you actually look at the quality of the Premier League in general, how they're still 11, 13 points clear when they've dropped points and this, that and the other just shows that there's no one challenging them, innit? I believe next season, like Chelsea, they've got a team full of kids, but they're still gelling. They've got a fantastic squad. I believe Man City are going to be back because as much as people want to laugh at what's happened to Man City right now, a lot of people now, I'd love to be in their position right now. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to be in their position. Like, they're still challenging for top. If they make top 4, it's a normal season for them. All it means is they just didn't win a trophy. They've collected so many trophies. They ain't got no space left in that cabinet. You get me? I might have to write to them and ask them to borrow me one. Do you know what I mean? I'll take a key ring. I'll take anything at this point. So Man City will be back. They will be back. They'll be back.
Louis, we're going to hear from Expressions on this in just a moment, but let me ask you straight. And you played for them. I forgot you had a spell there. Tottenham Hotspur. Is it time for a change there? At managerial level?
I don't think so. I want to see them succeed in some way. They have the right mentality, or the manager, I like his communication again. I'm so big on that. He tends to be very honest. And what I see, sometimes it's a big spell where they had big injuries problem. Really, it was really bad. And where I think like every club is struggling at the moment is that consistency. None of those teams at the top are able to do it. None. It's like only Liverpool has done it. So I think Tottenham still have to be courageous, like patient, find the right players, find the right maybe kind of like different tactics in some games, and it would be fine.
So no matter how it finishes up, and say they don't win a trophy, as Ange says he always does in his second season.
I hope he does.
You would say keep Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, I don't like those like changing like too many times. I'm sorry. I'll let you on after. But that's the parameters. People could be surprised because it's about confidence. It's about like stability, and some players can change all those things. And the manager itself needs to improve. He will have to understand that. Where he comes, another manager, whatever it was, Mourinho before or Nuno before and all that, they came with the same problems. Why? Because there is no stability at the very top.
Before we get to Expressions, does he deserve another season in charge, Tony?
If he wins a trophy, he cannot be sacked. If he wins a trophy,
you don't think?
If he wins that Europa, and I genuinely hope he does, because I would love him to just throw it all back at the media and just go to them. I told you. I always win a trophy, my second season.
Yeah.
It's what I do. It's who we are.
Expressions.
Don't
You're going to have to. You're going to have to.
Express yourself.
You're going to have to face up to
yourself,
it. You've heard Louis and you've heard Tony. Say Tottenham win the Europa League.
I think they're going to as well.
Do you honestly, look at me, do you honestly want him sacked?
Brother, I think there's more chance of Ange winning Love Island than us winning the Europa League, yeah? That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm being dead serious, bruv. Like, Jim, I'm going to do my best not to get angry. Let's just be calm, you know what I mean? Cool, collected, you know what I mean? I just don't want to be seen as someone that's angry and that's lost my head. I just want to just explain
Why
this to
are you
yeah?
angry?
Jim, I've been catfished. I have been catfished. I feel like I was swiping on Tinder, yeah? I matched with Beyonce, and she told me everything I wanted to see. I got to the date, and I sat across the table from an ice cream truck, fam. Do you know them way there? You get me? Katie Hopkins pulled up and was like, hey, babe, I'm your date. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly how I feel, bro. Ange Postecoglou, yeah, has had 16 losses in 31 games, bro. He's got 13 plus goal difference, so he knows how to score goals, but he doesn't know how to win games. And all he does is come out and say, oh, it's who we are, mate. It's who we are. You're not entertained. Brother, this guy has had more fights with fans, yeah, than he's probably had derby wins. I don't remember the last time we've won a derby. We lose to Fulham, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Chelsea. We lose to everyone. That guy don't win derbies. He makes us look like Derby County. That's what it is, isn't it?
What if you win the Europa League?
If we win the Europa League, Tottenham, where's the camera? If he wins the Europa League, yeah, I will thank him. We should build a statue. I will go next to that statue and sing, I'm loving Big Ange instead. And then we sack him after that because I don't need him in charge next season. Now, I'm being serious. If you offered me right now, yeah, Ange to win the league, win the Europa League, and then we keep him for another season, of course I'll take that because the trophy is my main priority. But if you offered me for Ange to win the trophy and us to sack him, I'll do that. One day Ramos, he won us a trophy and you saw what he did in the next season, yeah? I just don't think that this guy's built for league football. Maybe he can come and win a trophy with us, just like if we had Mourinho and Conte, they were brought in to win a trophy. They weren't ever going to stay for a long time. Here for a quick time, not a long time. Arrive, raise hell and leave like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
But this man has worked with the very best.
Yeah,
Louis
no, I hear that. No, but these are opinions.
With the very,
these are
very
opinions,
best.
Jim. These are opinions. I'm not saying what I'm saying is fact, but what I'm saying is as a Tottenham supporter, I can't have another season with this guy because it's either I had 10 days in the Maldives, yeah, and then it's like waking up and everything, it's a scene like from the day after tomorrow, bruv. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is with Ange. And the thing is, yeah, when I look at his post-match interviews and how he talks and stuff like that, he's so arrogant. He's so, forget about him saying, oh, I always win a trophy in my second season. The only cup that he's going to be holding was the cup that he had to his ear when we scored the offside goal against Chelsea and he was trying to taunt the fans. You didn't see that, no?
I did.
Man turned into Hulk Hogan. When it comes
Louis,
crashing down and it hurts inside. He was doing all of that.
What are the things that you could say that is positive? What is done?
Okay.
And based on the circumstances, we say maybe at the very top there is some problems. Nobody knows, nobody understands, nobody. So there is a need where the manager have to do things, but there is things that he has done.
Yeah.
How far you are, do you think that there is like, he's missing this and that and it?
So Louis, for me, honestly, yeah, let's just talk about the positives. So I went through 2 or 3 years of fossil football, bruv. Do you know what fossil football means? Fossil football, put them two words together, you know what it means, innit, yeah? Literally, I was in dire straits, that's what it was. So when he came in and introduced his new philosophy, yeah, I was over the moon. Like, I just wanted to see attacking football, I wanted to see this. But at the same time, yeah, like, it's like if you fly on business class for so long, you're gonna get used to it, innit? So I can see what you can bring. But then the faults to his formations, like, brother, the space between our players, yeah, I could get from Australia to Portugal before we switch the ball to the other side of the pitch.
Is the club happy with Daniel Levy? The fans?
No, there were protests before the game.
Is he not the problem?
Levy's a problem.
No, I don't know if he is.
He is.
I know he's an amazing businessman.
He is an amazing businessman, but that's what I'm saying. You care about, you get me, Beyonce, Travis Scott, Chris Eubank and all them, man, they love Daniel Levy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but when it comes to on the football, that's what it is. Like, he's transformed the club. You get me? You've got us the best training facilities. Look at our stadium. Do you know what I mean? We got a mansion. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course you have.
But you got brothers from the ends as staff in there, blood. That's pretty much what it is. Like, real talk. No, real talk.
That's not
Louis, we have heard him.
Local.
Of course, we were always going to hear from him.
But we done that on purpose.
In a couple of sentences.
You asked me why my name was Expressions,
Here you
man.
go.
I told you I'll show you.
In a couple of sentences,
Don't
make
tell
a
me,
case
show me.
for Tottenham keeping Ange. Make a case.
I think that there is like moments where you realize that after a few years, you have changed a lot of managers. You have like maybe come across where you have part of 10 games where you play amazing. There is like, during the start of the season, you could see the magic. It was happening. Then you find out again, Tottenham lost the spirit, the speed. There is a few injuries. And this is the problems. But I really feel like if he had this confidence growing and maybe understanding how we can reduce the mistake, he's a good manager.
I feel like when you're in a relationship, yeah, I feel like being in a relationship, you get me, I've been hurt so many times by women like that, you get me, I've dumped them all, yeah, but I feel like I'm getting older now, and I found someone in it, and she gave me the best 10 days of my life, yeah. But then after the 10 days, it's like she's just going out, blood. She's sleeping with all of my brethren and that. But I'm going to stay because you know what? I've got rid of all of these girls before and I'm getting older and I don't want to be by myself. Do you know what I mean? Nah, blood, I'm not staying in that. It's an abusive relationship.
When you look at Man United, I don't say like the relationship that Sir Alex Ferguson managed to build.
Yeah.
But he had this start where it was really hard for him. But they give him the confidence. They give him like the time. And those are, football take times. And fans, in some way, they don't have that passion. That I understand.
But you know the most important thing, what you said? You said Sir Alex. There ain't no Sir Ange, blood, yeah? Yeah, let's move on.
But there is King Louis. Louis Saha. Louis, how good was Rooney? In some ways, was he underrated?
Oh, yes.
Did we see one of the very best pass by?
Yeah, the very best, and he sacrificed a lot. So basically, what I said that is, Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't sacrificed a lot for the players. What I'm saying is like, he was dedicated to himself. And that's why, that's why he scored like 70 season or whatever. When sacrifice a lot.
Now, Tony, this is for you because we're just a few weeks out from the fight that has very much captured the minds and imaginations of fans across the boxing world. Chris Eubank Jr. takes on Conor Benn, April the 26th at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You're looking forward to it?
I'm excited.
There's a but here, is there?
It's not a but. I just think I don't like some of the narratives. I don't like some of the things that are being said. I don't like the fact that Chris Eubank Jr.'s personal life is being brought into it. This should purely just be about the fight and them two. I don't like the fact that he's gone on certain broadcasting channels and been asked certain questions. I didn't like that part of it. But listen, he's answered the questions, so I suppose all is fair in love and war.
What are we talking about? What did they ask him?
Well, he went on talking about the relationship with his father.
Oh, okay.
And I just didn't like Piers Morgan. I didn't like it. I just thought it was. What has that got to do with the fight?
Yeah.
Why does he have to explain about his relationship with his father? It's wrong. I think it was just disgusting. But
he has come like more regular in combat sport. That they try to make it very sensational.
Yeah,
and
sensationalise
like
everything, King.
Exactly,
but ultimately, this is a fight now that's captured the public's imagination. This is a fight that Tottenham's ground holds 75,000 people. There's 135,000 people on a waiting list for tickets. This is huge. This, in my opinion, is probably going to be the biggest fight this country has ever staged. No, because the fathers' names have been now transcended onto the children, and the children have bumped it up again because there is now history between them. With what happened when the first fight got cancelled, with all the stuff that's gone down, and there is really deep hatred and rivalry between these two. And I promise you, it's more than real.
I watched the Piers Morgan thing, and as much as Piers thought that he was in control, Eubank's just in control of every situation. I've never seen a guy go up there and speak the Queen's English and just deliver yourself so composed. Like when you ask him stuff about his father, you think, where did that come from? He's like, in his head, it's like he thought about it, curveball, and he came back with the way he just delivers himself in it, And obviously, when he slapped him with the egg and that, obviously, Conor Benn's been talking about how the man's eating 3,500 eggs.
Did you see it, Louis?
Calling him the IVF champion and that, You know them way there. When he slapped him with that egg, bruv, like, Louis Vuitton jacket. Who holds eggs in a Louis Vuitton jacket,
Yeah, the few.
Brother, listen, bro, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, bro. Easter, right before Easter, egg on the face. Like, this fight is going to be amazing. Like, Conor Benn, like, I'm not going to lie to you, before the Eubank situation, I didn't know much about Conor Benn, do you know what I mean? But, like, the whole build-up from the fight before, and then how it got cancelled, and then how it being here. My only negative on the fight is that someone's going to win another championship in the stadium before Tottenham do, but it happens, innit?
I'm fascinated by it, Tony. In Connor's corner, we'll see Nigel. Will we see Chris Senior in Chris's corner?
I don't know. I'd hope so. I would really hope, because some things are more important in life, just go and tell your father you love him, kid, simply. Or go and make up whatever differences it is. You're not here for long. And he knows that because he's been through similar things in his own life with what he's had, the personal tragedy. I feel for them as a family. I know what they've been through. Sure. So I feel for them as a whole family. But ultimately, little Conor's my mate. And it's an intriguing fight, because Chris Eubank Jr. isn't as good a boxer as he thinks, and Conor is actually a better fighter than he thinks he is. So he has to come in and really throw himself into it and make a fight of it. And actually, Chris Eubank's greatest asset, what people don't seem to realise, is he's an actually really good inside fighter who lets his hands go. But for some reason, unbeknown to me, the last 5 fights, he starts to think he's Roy Jones Jr. And he's anything but. So he just needs to come in, and literally they both just need to meet head on, and you will get the fight of a lifetime.
Who is best set to win it?
I think it's a fight of two halves, Jim. I think the first 6 belong all to Conor Benn, and I think the second half of the fight, that's where weight divisions exist for a reason. And people are going to say, well, you're just making an excuse, you're patting for both sides. I'm not patting for both sides. I think Conor's going to win the fight. And I'm not saying that if Chris Eubank wins, it's because of his size. No, the best man will win on the night. Regardless, you both come in and agree the weight that you're going to fight at. It is what it is. I just think when you match people up stylistically, I can't take anything away. Conor Benn is so explosive and so fast. He is going to leap all over Eubank. Like, what you're seeing in these press conferences, the shoving, the pushing, the eggs, like, this is really real. Like, if these was to, like, the hardest thing you're going to have now is fight with keeping these two apart. Because if these two bump into each other on a street, walking around London, or just perhaps one walks into the toilet, it's happening on site. I promise you now, they are scrapping on site.
I remember the atmosphere when you fought Hay.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Is this going to be the most intense boxing atmosphere ever?
Yes, this is another level.
But can you control the hatred part? No. They really dislike each other.
Chris can.
Yeah, he can.
Chris can.
Conor Benn's a loose cannon. For me, I feel like if it was a fight, a normal fight, I feel like Conor Benn's he's the one. He's a loose cannon. Oh, I you out, son.
He's emotionally invested.
I think Chris can.
But he's emotionally invested too.
Yeah, I feel like Chris. But I just feel like Chris can just calm himself and put on a boxing clinic a lot easier than Conor. Like, if Conor gets hit with something he don't like, I reckon he's just going to turn into wild man.
Chris thinks about everything he's going to say, and he knows everything's going to come out of his mouth. What he doesn't know is what's going to meet him in the ring.
Yeah.
And that's what he can't control. See, the thing with Chris Eubank, it's like what happened in the Liam Smith fight, the first fight. That didn't go the way he anticipated, and look what happened. If he's allowed to dictate distance and allowed to dictate the pace and the range of the fight, this is a walk in the park. But the fact is, he can't control Conor. He can't control the distance. For the first 6 rounds anyway, he can't control Conor. He can't keep Conor off him, I'm not going to lie. I don't care what Chris Eubank Jr. is not a big puncher, and he's not a great boxer. So that tells me he can't keep him off for the first 6 rounds. He may be able to in the second half of the fight, but he certainly isn't for the first 6. And I just think Conor will catch him, and he will be relentless in the attack and the assault. But he also might just go, I'm gassed, because he will be that emotionally invested. Jim, I've been in there with big fights where you walk into the ring and literally the first bell goes, and I've had fights where I fought Nathan Cleverly the second time and I was so emotionally invested in the build-up. When that first bell went, I was exhausted. And I just fought off basically on empty. I got the job done, but I was emotionally so invested. Conor is very similar to me. He's emotionally invested in everything.
Yeah.
He's calm when he comes away from it, but I know the boy. And when he lets his hands go, trust me, you will see on April 26th, he is not going to stop.
Your hardest fight was against Adonis Creed, blood. What are you laughing for? Bro, that's one of my favourite films, bro. That's my guy, Big Tone, Hollywood Tone.
Tony, very briefly,
Sit by a man.
I'm going to put you right in the spot here. By the time we do the next lineup show,
this will be
what will we have seen on the night between Benn and Eubank Jr.?
I think we'll have witnessed something a bit crazy in the ring. Something's going to happen, because there's just too much emotion in this fight. There's too much legacy, there's too much history, there's too much going on, Jim, outside. So you're going to see something, it's going to implode, and then I think we're going to see a brutal stoppage either way.
Who's going to be the biggest winner? Who's going to come out bigger?
All this Conor Benn has to do is, in all honesty, remain on his feet.
That's the thing. I feel like if Eubank wins, he's not going to get...
He's supposed to.
Yeah, that's...
He's supposed... This is at 100...
not right.
This is...
You want to make it as David versus Goliath.
Conor Benn's natural weight is 147. Chris Eubank is saying that... Well, he fights at 168 to 160. He fights at all different weights. So he's got the advantage. That doesn't count for anything. When they get in the ring, they're going to be... It's a fair fight. I don't want to hear someone's going to... No, you both signed up to a weight, you both signed up to a fight. Get in and deal with it like men.
I'm getting ready for the BetMGM Premier League darts. All I do is throw tantrums on YouTube. I don't know nothing about throwing darts. They promised me a specialist is coming in. I need my training. Let's go, fam.
You ready?
Not you again, blood. What? Now, why are you not always doing this to me, blood? I said Luke Littler, not Puke Littler. You can't help me.
Well, of course, the US Masters gets underway this week in Augusta. And to celebrate, we sent our very own Tony Bellew to his local course to take on a friend of the show in a 9-hole match play challenge.
Oh, and guess what? I'm right in the bushes. He's already trying to get in the head. This is not part of the game. He's 1-0 up as well. Typical cop-out.
Yeah, great shot. Welcome, Tom.
Yeah, finally he's arrived.
But when you watch Rory, he's unbelievable, isn't he? I know he's a Man U fan, but I won't hold that against him.
You can't hold it perfect.
No, I know.
Fantastic. Can't get it out. Now I'm covered in sand. Never, ever has that happened to me on a golf course.
Oh, what a shot.
What's going on? You see what he does? I told you, he gets in your mind. He gets in your mind. You don't need people like you talking. Look at what you could have won.
Oh, I love that. Head over to the talkSPORT YouTube channel to watch the Masters Challenge with Tony Bellew and Robbie Fowler in full. I'm not going to preempt it. You enjoyed your day out, right?
No, Jim, I didn't. I lost to the Copite, a bitter one as well. He absolutely loved beating me. But listen, I haven't heard anything from him since. If I do hear anything from him, I'm going to resort to my sport. We all know what that is.
Now we're talking. I love it. Put on these gloves, Robbie.
Yeah. Have a knock around.
Louis Saha, King Louis, to Tony Bellew, is in our midst on the lineup today. And we cannot have you here, Louis, without asking you some of the big questions that are on our minds. Listen, growing up, a young Louis Saha in Paris. Take me back. What was it like for you?
Was the best spot because a lot of talent come out from Paris area. So I really enjoy, and my dad and all my family have a history of like sport. They are competitors. They compete with drinking Coca-Cola, they drink, whatever it is, they like that. So I just grew up in the best area for that. Not saying difficult or anything like this. And to be honest, I really enjoyed that time because I felt like when you have this freedom, not like you have today, you feel like threatened to be outside in some ways. I love the innocence that I had. I really like, it was about like challenge yourself and challenge your boys, and this is great memories from that. I really enjoyed these moments, yeah.
Louis, we've all heard of this place, the Clairefontaine Academy, that you came through. What is it about it that it can produce people like Louis Saha, Thierry Henry, Nicolas Anelka, Mbappe, for God's sake?
It's a great place because that focus that you need when you want to compete, when you want to grow and have that discipline, it's the best because those guys allowed you to be, let's say, focused on your skills, not on your, let's say, weaknesses. It was all about skills, about how to express yourself and make myself like maybe grow faster into that professional world by just like speaking the truth about what is my sport. So I really enjoy it straight away. When you see after 1 year when I joined, 1 year later you see Thierry Henry playing or Nicolas Anelka playing for Paris Saint-Germain, I say, hang on a minute, this is what I want. This competition meant something. At first it was like just about like playing like kids and all that, and now I wanted to so bad about like being with those guys. I wanted to compete. And this is the kind of like energy that they gave me. Clairefontaine is very structured. Was all about like seeing the national teams. So when you see the big boys like Vieira or Zidane, and you say, hang on a minute, this is where I want to be. So it drives me absolutely obsessed about it.
When John Tigana takes you to Fulham, King, does that give you a kick to go, I want to push on again or further? What was your plan when you go to Fulham?
So I had a kind of like difficult spell in Metz when I was here. I felt like I was really good in under 21. And when I was coming back to the first team in Metz, it was more about how I defend, how I press or whatever. And I said, hang on a minute, that's not my football. Yeah. So I started to challenge this kind of like ways, and I went to Newcastle first. And when Tigana told me about the project that he had for me, where he wanted me to be who I supposed to be as a striker, as someone that like create problems for the defense, that's it. I said, hang on a minute, whoa, this is me. And Fulham was the best platforms I could grow because I didn't know my position really well. Okay. So it put me there, and Tigana really explained. He was my agent before. Oh, okay. So it was something that he exposed to me about my progression, and then arrived where he took over in Fulham. He was not my agent anymore. I said, okay, this is a project I really like, build me up, my confidence-wise, and this is history after.
I love the story behind you going to Manchester United, because Gary Neville is quoted as saying, Sir Alex never asked us which players we should sign and never asked us information about players that he was going to sign. But after we played Fulham one time in the FA Cup in 2001, he actually asked us, as defenders, should we sign Louis Saha? And we all said, yeah, right away, yes. I mean, how do you feel when you hear that?
It's great. I really, strange, but I enjoy those games. The more difficult, the more precious, the more relaxed I get. Because I say, I'm playing against the best one. So I always enjoy even more because the space is there, they don't expect you. So I had like really good games, and basically facing those defenders was a privilege, and that's really good to hear that Gary Neville had a hard time and suggest my name.
And then you go to United, and how did it come about? When did you first hear, it's United, they want you, Sir Alex wants you?
Yeah, the Scottish guy, John Collis, was there and starting to tell me, say, oh, I heard there is an interest, and Michael Sylvester as well come about and say, hey, we're waiting for you. So all those kind of like rumors come about, and you have to focus on your job. So I really wanted to improve. I was very focused about that. But when you receive the call from Sir Alex Ferguson himself saying, I really like your style, I want you to think about this move, and basically I say, listen, I'm taking the train, the bike, whatever it is to go there, and I really I felt myself straight away accepted, part of a project, part of something that where you call it transition, because it was like Beckham going, a few like Andy Coles, Dwight York going. I say, oh, okay, I've got my place here. I feel like I've got something else than the boys that were there. So
that's it, because Man United, like, they obviously had the partnership with Cole and York, innit?
Yeah.
But then when you arrived there, like, you and Wayne Rooney, you were like a lethal weapon, bruv. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, how was it like playing with Wayne Rooney?
Well, it was brilliant because straight away it doesn't expose your weaknesses. It actually like enhances your strength. So every time I was like maybe not pressing as much, you could see when they go past and tackle for you. It was like amazing. I come short, he go behind. I come behind and he come short, and it was a maestro. Really like a joy to play. Very easy. And as you may forget, but this guy was very young when he arrived.
Yeah.
And I see his maturity, and I see his dedication to the game made me improved. And at the same time, I feel like we were able to really learn from each other in so many ways. And from that time where you have another boy, Cristiano Ronaldo, on the side, and you see those development, you understand that you are in a big club, and you have to every day, not like just games, every day you have to step up. It was just, my dream. Yeah.
Louis, how good was Rooney? In some ways, was he underrated?
Oh, yes.
Did we see one of the very best pass by?
Yeah, the very best, and he sacrificed a lot. So basically, what I said that is, Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't sacrificed a lot for the players. What I'm saying is like, he was dedicated to himself, and that's why, that's why he scored like 70 a season or whatever. When sacrificed a lot, people may not see as much, and that's why he could be underrated, because he hasn't like focused his game only on him. Quality-wise, stamina, speed, strength, dedication, awareness, his IQ and his football was very high. So the complete player, but with a bit of humility that allowed him to be a leader without like shouting or do anything else. So brilliant player.
That's amazing.
Oh yes, yeah.
What happened at the end though, Louis? Because you end up having a chat one day with Sir Alex. How did that go, and what was the circumstances of you leaving?
Basically, I missed the Champions League. I was extremely sad because I had like 100 injuries. I was like really down because I was letting down my teammates, myself in some way, and the manager, because he trusted me. For example, he actually, before the Champions League final against Chelsea, said to me, you're going to be a big asset for us because they don't like to play against you. So arrive that you build up your confidence, you come back in the squad and all those things, and happens to be injured, I would say like 7 days before that final. So trying to recover, trying to put needles that I was not allowed because of I was with asthma, so I couldn't take this injection.
Okay.
So those things killed me. I was like really like, it was too much, because I wanted so bad to participate. Even if you win it, I wanted to be there and be part of this thing. So it was really hard, and I say, I don't want to go through that thing anymore. It was too much. So I say, please, Gaffer, I need to go because this is too much, and I want to feel like, as a fan, I'm contributing by going to a place where I feel like you're picking the right player. So Berbatov comes, and I was really happy because it's a player I really liked.
Of course. Were you ever given the hairdryer treatment by Sir Alex? Do you ever remember a particular moment, a particular dressing down?
Yes, a crazy one at Goodison Park. It was my second game, and arrived at halftime. I did score 2 goals, so my chest is like this. I'm very confident, but I starting to hear like someone like really angry, like with Scottish accent, and I couldn't really understand. We're 3-0 up, so what's wrong? You know, what happened? You know, and he's not happy, and he comes closer and closer and spatting. But I say, hang on a minute. And really was really upset and saying, you think that you are in your lounge or something like this? It's like real club here. And so the actual hairdryer was not for me. It was something that I just digest straight away, and I understood that I'm really like facing someone that is a competitor. And I understood that I had to step up. And basically, straight away I understood because Goodison Park, it's a special place. So the Everton came back. It was 3-3, really like tough game. Oops. And Van Nistelrooy managed to nick a goal at the end. So this is the type of things that I feel very privileged because not as just a football player, I learn as a human being. Like you have to be consistent. You have to give your all the time.
Got to be at it all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
There's a reason why he's probably the greatest manager ever.
Yeah.
So imagine being 3-0 up at half-time and he's coming in roasting players. It shows you he sees what's coming and he's trying to warn you.
Yeah.
And especially where like you get comfortable, you don't feel like he's gonna come to you.
Yeah.
Bang! He's like he's like lose the game and all that. And when you are like I think in some like you expect the hairdryer, he's gonna come and say,
Arm around you.
Yeah, manage us to build that confidence to be 200%.
How was the moves, King, going? So you're at Manchester United now, you're winning everything, you're winning leagues, you've got that, then you come to us. Is that a big impact on a player? What is it like?
You know, this is where I felt like it was strange because at first straight away, I had this impression that it was not a big gap. Really, like the connection that I had with the fans, the atmosphere that was able to be built there, and the actual desire competition-wise. David Moyes is a huge competitor. So I felt like, everything is set for me to express myself. I have to adapt a little bit because we are not like the
different
team.
Quality.
Yeah, different quality. We were a bit more like hard-working, like a bit of a different type of flow, I would say. And I felt like really easy to adapt. It was like the same quality. We wanted the same. Were definitely different players, different setups, but I felt really comfortable. So it was not hard at all because I could see winning trophies. And we were very close. And that's probably the
Cup final where you scored after
the biggest frustration.
The
biggest, you know, like where you talk about like Man United and losing there or whatever. You are competing with Chelsea and the league and all that, and you feel like, okay, those guys end up with Thierry Henry, Arsenal and all that. You say, okay, but there, I felt like we were so close, we deserved it. And
you scored that goal, literally, I remember the goal going in. It's too early.
Too early.
It's just too early. You can never score a goal too early, but he did. He scored the goal too early. I think it was, isn't it 15 seconds?
Yeah, 20 seconds already.
There's 20 seconds and it went, and we couldn't believe it, what was happening. We're thinking we're going to steamroll Chelsea, we're going to win 5-0. But then gradually the game gets played, and then players, the quality comes, and just different types of players and different types of tactics.
It's funny you're not even up there in a Spurs shirt, bruv. What is it? Because it was only 6 months, yeah? Is that what it was? It was only 6 months. Is that why he's not up there in a Spurs? He still played for us, you know. I remember that Harry Redknapp, boy. Like it was you, Ryan Nelson in January and stuff. We never made any signings in January. I thought Redknapp got the brown envelopes out. I was thinking, what's going on? Because Levy don't ever like spending no money in January. We had you for like 6 months. Like, but what I would ask you, because I like to ask this about players that played for Tottenham, like how was Ledley King as a defender? Because everyone's always just got like positive things to say about him.
That's me.
Yeah, all right. That could all be Ledley King telling you, yo, you better say some good things about me. I think
everyone goes on about Ledley King.
Yeah, Ledley was like that captain where he was not able to train every time, but the confidence, the aura that he had on players, on him, the way he performed was amazing. So all those qualities that you could see on the centre back, where this guy is strong and good in the head, can, play the pass that can break the lines, was like so easy. And at the same time, I couldn't understand how he can perform without training.
Yeah.
It was like, hang on a minute, you really like he was limping all the week and play. Unbelievable. It was
That's
like
what the
incredible.
Chelsea players told me about Eden Hazard. He literally didn't train.
Didn't train.
He would walk around and just be not bothered. And then they were saying, Obi Mikel was saying to me, he gets on the pitch and he's the difference. He does. I said,
Could just come alive.
I said, how is he fit? He said,
Yeah.
we don't know. He said, but we knew once he went to Madrid, he couldn't get away with doing that. So then he tries to train. It just doesn't work.
Nah, he came alive at Madrid, but it was in McDonald's, blood. It wasn't on the pitch. Nah, it's the truth, innit? That's why you lot got me here, bruv. You know what I mean? It's the truth.
I try to come back on that because where I look at that profile, amazing profile, that's not something that I really like, to hear that you don't train that fully and all that. But this is what the Premier League is missing.
Yeah.
That kind of magic, unpredictability. This guy is a character. He has that selfishness that he knows that he can be, it's not possible to predict what he's going to do because in 1 minute from another, it's a different type of problem that he creates.
You're actually a legend in the Premier League. Nah, real talk. Because when you look at when Lukaku went Everton, Chelsea, brother, he's the original.
Oh, listen.
Nicola
he's the
Anelka
original.
has more clubs than me, no?
Probably.
Lukaku.
Anelka.
Anelka. Oh, is it? I think as well.
But Louis, with the French national team,
Brom, I forgot.
with the national team, you were part of Euro 2004, the squad, and you played at the World Cup 2 years later. But you were suspended for the final.
Really bad memory again. This one comes before the Champions League. So in terms of understanding why it happened, I was on the bench, quarterfinal, semi-final. So really excited when someone gives you 20 minutes, you have to prove, I want to play. I don't want to be on the bench. So I was so excited and I wanted to prove that I could be a real asset for the squad. And I take a yellow card on the semi-final, quarterfinal, and semi-final as well. So I'm on the bench. I've seen the boys going to penalty, seen the headbutt and all those things. I still feel like, God tried to give me a lesson. And I have to learn from that because it was so horrendous. Everybody in the world would love to be in my position, be in that stage and show your quality and all that. Get it away. I couldn't prove anything. But when 2 years later I go into the Champions League and something happened again, no, it was too much.
It was too much. Zidane, of course, famously scores a penalty and then gets sent off for that headbutt. Materazzi and Italy go on and win the game. So you go back inside the dressing room. What was the atmosphere like? Was anyone blowing up at Zidane?
Yeah, right.
No chance. No, it's a tense moment. Everyone is disappointed, of course, but you have a lot of respect for what he has done. You may disagree with what happened. You lose the chance to lift the biggest trophy in the world. But the situation is he brought us here. Right. His performance was so immense. Every game was the leader. I was at the back of the bus, going to every game, and the focus on his eye. He wanted to leave everything on
the pitch.
It was amazing because the guy, training-wise, never complained. We could say, I'm tired. And Zidane, the most talented player in the squad, was working really hard. So how can you complain and say, why you have done this and that? No player has come about respectfully. He says sorry. He meant what he done. He hasn't, I think, expressed regret because whatever happened, he owned it. Yeah, he owned it.
But he was quiet. What was he like?
Yeah, very quiet.
Describe him. Was he sitting there?
Yeah, sitting there and quiet. Couldn't really look people in the eyes respectfully because he's a guy that understood the magnitude of his gesture and what he take away from all the players in this room. But And at the same time, you know, he couldn't act any other different because...
He's got to be himself.
Yeah, he is a very quiet guy. He's not going to take away this without thinking that deep inside he was hurt. I'm sure he's still hurt. But that's so much legacy. You know, this guy, for me, represents the ultimate player during that competition.
Was he the best player you ever played with?
I'll stop you there. Yes. In terms of... Yeah, for France, huh? Yes, yeah. Because of what, in terms of pressure, the shoulder was immense. Was immense because people don't realize. So I said that for me, the class that he put the French squad at the other level because he make you improve. It's only player I watch a game. I was on the bench. I watched the game on him against Brazil. I said, what are you doing, man? It was just like...
Playing a different game.
Oh, no. It was too much. It was like kids.
He beat Brazil on his own, didn't he?
On his own. So it was amazing. So arrived to the final and even he performed during that game. You can't say nothing. You can't say nothing. Do
you speak to him today, Louis? Do you keep in touch with Zidane?
Not really. We cross ways. We have a foundation, you know, we are ambassadors. But there is like a big focus on the national team at the moment. It's someone that really will, I think, impose a new style, a new energy. I can't wait for that. I can't wait. Yeah.
But just to be clear, the best player you've ever played with?
Oh, yes. In France, yes. I would say that Cristiano, for so many reasons, yes, he's the best player.
He needs to be back in management.
He's
done amazing at Madrid. 3 Champions Leagues, or was it 4?
I reckon you do a good job at a team not so big.
Yeah, I do. I think it's philosophy and football and philosophy. And the biggest thing that I think the strength is him, he can manage the egos, because that's what players have. He can manage the egos of giants like Real Madrid.
I think you don't have egos with Zidane, actually. It will naturally shut you down, you know, like in some way.
Who he is. Yes. That's what I'm saying. He can manage their egos. For you to manage a Real Madrid dressing room, I'm sorry to say, it won't be the best football manager who's going to do that job. It's going to be the man who can manage them egos.
Yeah, who's doing a better job? Let's throw egos out of there. Who's doing a better job, Pep or Zidane at Tottenham? We ain't got no egos. Who's doing a better job in your eyes, quickly? Pep or Zidane?
That's a good question.
Remember, Pep's only done it with big teams. Zidane's...
Yeah, but Pep got a lot of money to spend.
No, but that's what I mean. So who's doing?
We'll ponder that. Finally, after football, you're now in the business world, aren't you? You do a lot of business activity. Tell me about that, Louis. You enjoy the challenge of that?
Yeah, very much so. I really invested a lot of time, energy, money into this new life. I really enjoyed it. There is a lot of things to be done, and there is like aspect in that entrepreneurship that I want to really transmit to athletes and to people with influence. So there is a lot of things to do there. I come up with that fire again, like transmit to really help those athletes with the ventures that we have. I will really never stop.
Don't forget, next month, our very own Tony Bellew and Expressions will be on stage at the O2 Arena ahead of the BetMGM Premier League darts final going head-to-head over a 9-dart challenge. Now, I know for a fact that Tony has a darts board at home, but I also know for a fact that Expressions has been seeking some help with his game.
Expressions here, and I am at the Brentford Club, and I am hella excited, you know. I'm getting ready for the BetMGM Premier League darts. All I do is throw tantrums on YouTube. I don't know nothing about throwing darts. They promised me a specialist is coming in. I need my training. Let's go, fam.
You ready?
Not you again, blood. What? Now, why are you not always doing this to me, blood? I said Luke Littler, not Puke Littler. You can't help me. You're going to embarrass me at the O2. Stop the camera as well.
Right, let's teach you a few things about the board, okay, before we get started. You might like this bit of red right here. That right there is the treble 20.
Treble word scoring now.
Yeah, and you count.
Yeah. They tell you how many ex-girlfriends I have, and that's big numbers. Trust me, bro. 63 times, what is it?
190!
There we go.
Why should we start doing your warm-up exercises then?
What do you mean warm-up exercises? I ain't seen one man that plays darts with a six-pack. Them man don't warm up. I am warmed up.
Ready?
Steady.
So what am I aiming for?
What did I tell you? I'm trying to teach you.
But I don't feel sorry for him. Look at the way he's talking to me, blood. Is he
Listen,
mad?
I want you to be the best.
Yeah, I want me to be the best. We're gonna embarrass Tony Stark, bruv, you know what I mean? And Jimbo Law, blood. We're gonna embarrass them, yeah? Just wanna be home with my kids. I'm gonna send you home with the kids, Tony. Cut that out, because Tony's my guy. But keep everything about Jim, though. That was all right.
12.
Hey,
18.
that was all right.
So you have 483 to go.
We're gonna be here all day, fam, if I get scores like that. Where did that? Oh, I got one!
It's at 54.
Boom! What are you talking about? Look at that.
80.
Hey! Now all I need is the 100, fam.
Why are you throwing with one eye?
Are you my optician, fam?
Oh, this is going to go on forever. Double 15.
Hey, can't you make that a little bit bigger?
It's regulation size. It's nice and slow.
Come on! Come on!
Single.
Come on! What's man talking about?
So what we're going to do now is around the clock. You were so quick at doing the 5-1. I thought we'd go to 10.
About time you were nice to me,
Yeah,
bruv.
yeah.
I swear down, bruv. You've been rude all day, bruv. Love that.
Around the clock, around the world, around the board. First to 10, easy.
So breathe down my neck when I'm throwing my dog.
I want to try and put you off.
Yeah, look at this guy. You're supposed to be my teacher. Leave it up to X, blood. What's man talking about? Got it! Hold that, bruv! Yeah, we'll take all of that. Yeah, one down. Show me how it's done. Jesus.
3 o'clock, there it is. Shake his hand.
Yo, I'm better than you, bruv. I'm Mr. Miyagi and you're Daniel's son, blood. That's it.
Just relax. Almost there. Well done. 9. Oh, that's so unfortunate. 10-9. If you hit 10, you win. And I can't believe, from what I've actually seen today, that this is humanly possible.
You can't teach me none of that, bruv. I told man, what 1 to 10? Hold that, blood. Hey, Jim, blood. Hey, Tony, blood. Tony, Jim, blood. Both of you, bruv. I'm telling you, bruv. You man are going down.
So, Expressions, are you ready for the darts challenge? Are you ready for what lies ahead with Tony?
Brother, listen, you get me? I'm a showman, fam. You get me? How many thousand is that in the O2? How many?
Just 20.
Yeah, 20,000, that's absolutely fine. You know what I mean? I'm going to win a trophy for Tottenham, blood. If I win this, what, do I leave with a trophy, yeah? Do I leave with a trophy, Jim?
You will do.
I'm telling you, bro. Well, I'm ready, innit, bro? 180. 180. Didn't you see me, bruv? Me and Seth Rogen were training and that. We were doing bits, bruv. Tropicana bits, bullseye. I was getting triple word scores. I was doing Scrabble and that. You know what I mean? It was wavy. I'm ready, Jim.
Excellent. I wish you hadn't asked. Now, Louis, we always get to the end of the show by asking our guest, build us your ultimate five-a-side side from players that you used to play with. So we're looking forward to yours. Let's start with your goalkeeper.
Van der Sar, by far. By far. The best goalkeeper. I actually revolutionized the actual position. More forward, like a good eyes for the striker. Unbelievable. Yes, he was a goalkeeper.
Is he better than Schmeichel?
You're not being biased. He's better than Barthez?
You with Schmeichel?
No. I just, it was not there. But I think in terms of like playing with the ball and getting a bit of a position in a different way.
He's the first keeper who played with the ball?
Yes.
What about your defender?
Great.
Rio Ferdinand.
Cheese, Rolls Royce, Rio.
Yeah.
Wow, special player.
Very special player.
Van der Sar in goal, Rio defender. One or two midfielders. What do you think?
So I'm torn, but the first one come to my mind is Zidane, of course. So the one is the playmaker, but as well work hard. I have
Could
to
end up with 4 players at the end of the game, though. Choose carefully, black.
and it's very hated, yeah.
And one or two forwards.
So I'm like really torn. Someone need to run. There is Cristiano Ronaldo there. I want another goal scorer. I really think that on a small space, Van Nistelrooy was the best one. So I was thinking about Rooney, but I think I will go with Van Nistelrooy.
No Thierry.
Wow.
Yeah, it's maybe a smaller space.
Ooh.
So I think on small space.
Moving like he's Henry the
Cristiano-
Hoover in that, bruv. You know what I mean? How's he not made no Thierry?
Yeah. It's
No vavavoom, je ne
I
sais
need
quoi.
to have them on the bench. But
On the bench?
Yeah, no disrespect. It's just like on small space. I think, yeah, when you have
Van
Van Nistelrooy.
Nistelrooy.
Absolutely. No,
Excellent.
Was
No,
he
too
king?
much.
Was he deadly?
Oh, in the box, there is no better. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. He can score 50 goals. If there is like 5 minutes, he scores 50 goals.
So give me your team again. Van der Sar goal. Defender Rio. Midfielder Zidane. And your two?
Cristiano, and you have Van Nistelrooy.
Cristiano and Van Nistelrooy. Ladies and gentlemen, Louis Saha has been with us today. Absolutely stunning. And thanks to Tony and thanks to Expressions as well. Make sure you join us again next month when we're joined by a very big former Everton, Newcastle and Scotland striker. You have been watching The Lineup, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org.